Have you ever met a person that is good at almost everything they do, but they care so little about it? Like, they can cook, clean, sew, knit, all that stuff, fight, whatever you can think of. They can just do it right on the spot. Even if they don't know anything about it, just by learning it for a little while, they can already look like they're a master to it. But at the end of the day, they don't seem to care about it because they only really care about one thing, one common goal that they have in mind. Despite everything else they can do, they always want the impossible. This goes to a lot of gifted people. Despite who Maine is now, it seems like in her previous life she knows how to do a lot of things thanks to her past experience. So she can cook, clean, make nice little hair ornaments, all that stuff. But at the end of the day, all she cares about is making a book. But that's the most impossible thing for her. Because of that, that is her greatest desire. I've discovered that. I've seen people like that. I've seen people like that in real life. I've seen it in documentaries, all that stuff. They're very fascinating people. Like, they can right now make you something or find a way to make money really quick. But in the day, they'll just give it to you or somebody else or just quickly spend it. They don't even care because they're mainly focused on things that they can't get their own hands on. That is their true challenge. These are very special, gifted people in the world, which I forgot their name, but it's something. Well, anyways, let's get into the video. What's this I'm trying to tell you about here? Well, besides the nice little thing that's going on with Tori, how mine gave her this beautiful hair ornament, and plus also made her some delicious, I'm guessing it's vegetable shaped soup. Like she's shaping the stars and hearts. And I wonder how she did that. Like, did she find a way to make some cutter ornaments or something? Or she's did it by knife? One way or another, it's really hard to do it in that kind of perfect shape that she's been making them things. Like, come on, you can have a cutter or something. Besides all that, besides her parents are complimenting her how good she's at doing things, the main thing she wants to do the most, no one understands, and she can't grasp the habit whatsoever. It's very ironic in a way because she's obsessed with finding a way to get a book or make her own books. But no matter how hard she tries, something, she is one step ahead and then two steps back every single time. And we all can relate to that, where we have this goal, we're trying to move forward to it every time, but there's always something in the way. And when you have so many trials in the way of something you want to do, that must mean that that goal is truly worth striving for because of all the challenges ahead. So those challenges can make and break you. And if you are able to make through those challenges, you'll come out as a better, stronger person indeed. Especially in Maine's situation right now with her kind of body she has. So today's episode, she was trying to do things through a Chinese method by wooden tablets, but she couldn't use the stuff she has. In a way, Maine in a way reminds me like Tanya, where she's too impatient. I know she wants a book right now. Tanya wants to be an easygoing life right now. But they're both kids. I'm like, can you just learn the way of this world and then grow up, nurturing your talents, grow up, do something really spontaneous, and then retire at a very young age? You could do that, but, impatience of the common goal of a genius. They don't want it later, they want it now. Because everything else would be easy for them, and it'd be long and boring. It's pretty much their own hell, you would say. Now, she had Lutz help her out because say that she's weak. She can't do it on her own. There's a lot of things she can't do physically. She has a strong mind, but a very weak body. Reminds me of certain other characters I've seen throughout my life. And now she has the wooden tablets. And in the day, there's something she needs to learn to do is to warn people ahead of time. She was making the tablets, and then when she got home looking for them after she found writing material, even that itself was kind of difficult because the things she really needed, like ash or something to help do it, she couldn't get her hands on, especially not oil. She needed to make her own special kind of ink. They're right from the sea. She can't use ash. Oil is definitely out of the question, so she had to do something else. Then when she gets home, the firewood's burnt, and she's really upset, like just pissed. Like, not like she's angry like she was last time, but more like just depressed in a way. Like she was just upset because she wanted to write her mother's stories onto a book, which is sweet and all, but It's just a giant misunderstanding. The mother saw it as, oh, she's doing housework for us, might as well take this wood that she cut and burn it, so the efforts don't go to waste. So she remembered, hey, everyone, mine cut this wood for us. Thank her. That's always going through her mind. So it was an innocent mistake, but nonetheless, she was upset. And once again, her aura and her color of eyes started to change. But at this time, she was really starting to go into it. To the point that she's been in bed for 5 days straight. Now, I'm not going to spoil that for you guys, but I'm going to talk about her illness. She's even trying to discover the illness herself. Why is that this fever comes and goes so much for average fever? Usually when someone gets a fever, it's to, sweat out. A fever is made when you're sick. The fever when you're getting cold and stuff, you feel like laying down, that is the fever kicking into effect to sweat out, to get rid of the illness that's inside of you. That's why she has a fever. That's what's inside of her. Question is why is it? It keeps coming on and off, especially when she overexerts herself. But this time she didn't overexert herself. She was just very depressed. And it came anyways, and you can tell it grew bigger. So a lot of people feel like it's the fever is the problem. No, the fever is the thing that gets rid of the illness. It's the illness itself. So she needs to discover what that is in order to overcome it. But, difficulties. She's just a kid. So while asleep, she was wondering, if she can't have what she wants in this world, what is the point of her being alive? Well, then she remembered the promise with what she made for him to meet Otto. Because Lutz himself, like I said before, has become one of the other main characters from the story. And he wishes to become a travel merchant in a way, And back in the day, a lot of people stayed where they were at for their entire lives, generations upon generations, because it was so far or dangerous to go to other places back in the day. So they stayed where they were at and just lived their lives there, And a lot of people still do that today, especially in small towns or countries and cities and stuff. Many towns, most people stay in the same place forever. I don't mind staying in the same place. Because in the day, I just go to conventions, draw, and do contract work, I just do that anytime, anywhere, actually. But nonetheless, I see that Lewis has a very, very taboo motivation in a way, where he wants to do something that a lot of people look down on back then. I remember seeing some movies that my mom would make us watch, which I did fell into interest later on, where someone being a traveling merchant was really looked down upon, also known as a peddler in a way. Like, no one would trust a peddler, or no one would want to live the life of a peddler, since they're always on the move. Their life can be in danger, they can be con artists, a lot of stuff. They had a bad rep in some certain places. But cheers to Lutz from trying to do it. If he wants to do it, let him do it, man. But it's hard unless easier said than done, anyway, because he's still just a kid. Now, she needs to find out why is it that she keeps having this fever problem and the color of her eyes and what's all that got to do with it. Hopefully we'll find out sooner or later why is that the problem. But for now, she's back to the drawing board, and she keeps going back to the drawing board. And it's interesting how each episode, she will educate you on how the ways people make literature through different methods, through paper, through tablets, through clay, through all that stuff, wood, and how difficult it was to do. So, anyways, I appreciate that. I don't think I really want to make tablets out of wood. If you ask me, that's the hardest and messiest to do. Like, I'm used to doing clay stuff. I've done sculptures and stuff like that in the past, so I'm easy with clay. Wood, leave that to someone else, man. Leave it to the lumberjacks or something. So, anyways, that's all I got for this. I really enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to it. What happens next. So anyway, if you like Ascendance of a Bookworm, and of course you like my content, help out by commenting, and of course, subscribing. This has been Madcrownxox on Anime, signing out.